You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. A spiritual sense of service, Sun opposite Neptune. Daily horoscopes for Monday and Tuesday, September 18th through the 19th, 2023. Good morning, friends. Please let me know if you'd like a card picked for you in the upcoming Fun and For You tarot card reading that I will be doing as a thank you to all of the AstroMommy newsletter subscribers. All you have to do is reply to this newsletter or send me an email to astromommyastrology@gmail.com to do so. Also, check out the new referral program to earn rewards for sharing the newsletter. It really helps the community to grow. And if you missed it, the new moon word list for this month's lunar poetry ritual has been posted. If you'd like to participate this month and write a poem with us, go ahead and check that out here. Well, here we are on Monday, and this week we have a few big transits taking place. First, tomorrow on Tuesday, the 19th, the Sun will oppose Neptune, symbolizing situations that may come to light and revealing a divine sense of purpose. On Thursday, the 21st, the Sun will form a trine to Pluto, indicating a quick transformation of self. And this coming weekend, the Sun will ingress into Libra on Saturday, the fall equinox, one of the 4 major turning points of the year. The moon will start the week off in sensitive Scorpio, travel through sagacious Sagittarius, and then spend most of the weekend in commonsensical Capricorn. But like whipped cream on a slender piece of pie, top it off in altruistic Aquarius Sunday night. Looks like an interesting week. Okay, let's get into the astrology. All times are in Eastern time unless mentioned otherwise. On Monday and Tuesday, the moon will be in Scorpio all day. She ingressed into the sign of Scorpio at 12:58 a.m. really early Monday morning on the East Coast or at 9:58 p.m. on the West Coast Sunday night. Moon in Scorpio is an intuitive and deep-feeling moon, but also a bit moody and broody. It's a great time to keep a journal about how you are feeling and experiencing things, but it may not be the best time to make decisions and take action. It's a time in the lunar cycle when our feelings could get hurt and we may want to do the Scorpio thing and crawl under a rock and hide, ready to sting anyone who comes close. People may be nursing their emotional wounds and be very reactionary, lashing out at anyone who even looks at them, so beware. This is a very sensitive time and people could feel very vulnerable and threatened today and tomorrow. In electional astrology, we would avoid making important plans when the moon is in her fall in Scorpio, so that may be good advice for the beginning of this week. Do what you need to do, but don't worry too much about anything else. Once the moon makes her ingress into Sagittarius on Wednesday, there will be more optimism in the air, so we can look forward to that, even though once in Sagittarius, the moon will square Saturn. More about that in the upcoming Wednesday forecast. After the moon ingresses into Scorpio on Monday, the Sun in Virgo will perfect a quincunx to the North Node in Aries, indicating an illumination of something important in your life that needs some attention. Then at 5:18 a.m., the moon in Scorpio will form a trine to Saturn in Pisces, retrograde, and within the hour at 5:52 a.m., she will make a sextile to Mercury in Virgo. What this symbolizes is an opportunity for some serious introspection or intuitive messages to come in that are stabilizing in some way and inspire some deep curiosity. The Scorpio moon likes to swim deeply through the emotion ocean, the emotional landscape where feelings are born, and with these positive influences from Saturn and Mercury, this is almost like a scientific exploration of your inner workings. You may have serious realizations that just make sense. This transit symbolizes having deep feelings about concrete things like time and money, but behaving in a responsible and serious way. In the evening on Monday, the moon will perfect a semi-square to the Sun in Virgo. The crescent moon will be visible at sunset and rise in the west, showing her beautiful self again. There's something about your circumstances that is being reborn, coming to light and peeking into view again, as is shown by the reemergence of the moon. Lastly, the moon in Scorpio forms a sesquiquadrate to Neptune in Pisces, indicating some feelings of doubt or confusion about your life. Don't worry, the universe will send you signs soon that you are on the right path. On Tuesday, the moon will be in Scorpio all day, and her first order of business, the opening bookend to Tuesday, is in opposition to Jupiter. This is about coming face to face with what you are creating in your life through what you already have and possess, and what you are desiring in your life that you feel you need to go get. The opposition always represents a decision or the feeling of duality, a standoff, or a confrontation about something. And between the moon and Jupiter, this is about our day-to-day circumstances, environment, and our emotions, versus our dreams, the bigger picture, and our ability to broaden our horizons. I feel this transit speaks to digging deep within ourselves to touch base with the things in life that we are grateful for. Jupiter represents blessings, abundance, and good health. So where in your life do you feel blessed? Which areas in life do you feel are abundant and full of health and vitality? Jupiter also represents optimism, joy, and hope. The Scorpio moon is capable of feeling any emotion to its extreme, so this opposition could be a test of faith, optimism, and hope. It is also a very fertile transit since both Jupiter and the moon are in receptive signs, Taurus and Scorpio. Taurus exalts the moon, and so Jupiter bestows blessings on the moon during this opposition, and Scorpio, being a water sign, is naturally very fertile. Jupiter also universally signifies sperm and life. Then at 7:17 a.m., the Sun in Virgo perfects his opposition to Neptune in Pisces retrograde. You can see in the picture below the Sun in the center with Neptune above and in direct alignment with the Earth, which is situated in between the Sun and Neptune. This represents a lot of pressure on the Earth, which is typical of oppositions between the Sun and a superior planet, meaning that it is beyond the Earth rather than in between the Sun and the Earth, as are Mercury and Venus, the inferior planets. So the Earth is feeling pressure from both sides, and we may feel this in our own lives, a sort of pressure from solar influences in our lives and a subtler pressure from otherworldly influences, or just an underlying feeling of confusion, chaos, or uncertainty. Some negative manifestations of the Sun opposite Neptune can be things like feeling confused about your life's direction, having experiences with drugs or alcohol or other addictive substances or habits, falling ill or feeling drained energetically, situations involving a father figure or solar figure in your life, and/or general feelings of disappointment, frustration, or confinement. On the positive side, the Sun opposite Neptune could indicate a period where we feel greater compassion and an increase in our creativity, imagination, and ability to enjoy the arts. There could also be spiritual or intuitive experiences where you feel more enlightened or something that feels magical and otherworldly. You could experience a mystical sense of purpose or realize how to be of service to others in a spiritual way. It's also a time of year when omens may appear that bring with them profound messages and insights. Interestingly, a Sun-Neptune transit can also symbolize long journeys, and I think this is really fascinating considering how far away Neptune is. After the Sun and Neptune oppose each other, the Moon forms a square to Venus in Leo. So I talked about this in the weekend forecast when we discussed the recent Venus square to Jupiter, and I find it so compelling that the Moon starts off her day opposing Jupiter, and then right after that, she squares Venus. This is like the Moon is making a decision with Jupiter and then bringing that decision to Venus to either support it or reject it in some way. The Moon and Venus in a square can mean some struggle, strife, or conflict in the home, between the women in your life, or between your emotions and something you find value in. It could also indicate a financial issue, challenge, or relationship conflict. The Moon is in Scorpio, so she's really emotional and reactive, and Venus is in Leo, so she is stubborn and a bit self-centered. This could definitely indicate that whatever is being hashed out between the Moon and Jupiter and Venus, it is personal, emotional, and dramatic. On another note, the Moon meeting up with both benefics after their square could symbolize things taking shape that are fortuitous, beneficial, and supportive. It could be something very positive that elicits extreme emotions that subjectively are good. It feels like crying because of joy instead of sadness. Then the Moon will form a quincunx to Chiron in Aries, and the trick will be to not allow your ego to get too caught up in whatever is happening. Remember the Chinese proverb I shared over the weekend? Maybe so, maybe not, we'll see. This could be a test of our ability to stay neutral when faced with a major shift on the wheel of life. Like the Wheel of Fortune card in the tarot, our fortune always changes, continuously. Change is constant. What goes up must come down, and what went down must go back up. In the evening on Tuesday, Mars in Libra forms a quincunx to Jupiter in Taurus retrograde at 6:47 p.m. This could symbolize taking action at an inappropriate time, or feeling justified in martial emotions like anger, intensity, and impulsiveness, when it may be better to just lay low. So beware of assertiveness, letting out fiery emotions, or speaking words that sting because you or those around you are feeling big emotions that are hard to contain. The last bookend on Tuesday is the Moon in Scorpio perfecting her opposition to Uranus in Taurus retrograde. This could be a sudden or unexpected emotional display or intense reaction to something strange and surprising that inspires revolt or willful behavior. Disruptions and upheavals are possible, but I have found that when the moon makes aspects to Uranus, if the transit affects your natal chart, then you may experience something, but if it does not, then it's hardly noticeable. If you have planets in the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, this transit may shake things up a bit. For example, my natal Mercury and Uranus are both in Scorpio at 20 and 22 degrees, respectively, and will be directly activated by this transit, so I can expect to have some sort of epiphany, surprising thought, or mental jolt, or an event in my life that kind of sends my circumstances in a new direction, all of which could be very emotional. This is further emphasized because transiting Uranus is opposing my natal Uranus, which creates a sort of midlife crisis vibe for several months this year and into next. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? 9, the Hermit, reversed. The Hermit upright is the way shower, the lantern bearer, and represents the end of a cycle, being able to look within and find peace and rejuvenation in solitude. On this card, we see an old man with a long beard, wearing a long robe and holding a lantern and walking stick with a bell on it. The light in the lantern is the light of the moon, reflecting the sun's light in a way that we can actually look at it. There is a skull in the bottom left of the card, among the brush or branches of a tree, signifying the fact that the hermit helps people cross over the thresholds in life, ending and completing something while simultaneously beginning something new. In the reverse position, I feel that it says there is self-doubt, and where there is self-doubt, there is inevitably self-criticism. The hermit is represented by the zodiac sign of Virgo, and one of the challenging traits of the Virgo energy is perfectionism and cutting self-talk. Stay grounded and trust your inner guidance system and your higher self, the part of yourself that speaks with kindness and love. I love how the lantern is supposed to be holding the light of the moon to show the way, because we can't directly look at the sun, but we can gaze upon the moon, and in that strange way we are actually gazing at the sun, but not having any of the ill effects from it. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until Wednesday, AstroMommy. Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.